I scored 550. People don't go all in, because then when I realized that this is the exam that requires total dedication and consistency, job was just a distraction for me.
What resources actually works?
Honestly, I did not study with any partner. So you can absolutely do this. Just have faith.
So that is the real gist of this video. We want to know how to go for the next 3 months to able to score really high and get a seat in the NHS. Welcome everyone. So today on our channel is a very special guest. She is not only score a very good marks in the September 2025, but also she is my classmate. She is my class fellow. We have been together on a lot of things in the surgery and doing a lot of research and PLAB journey. But finally, one of our classmates, she scored really well in the MSRA, and I'm not going to be a further delay between her and to you all, so we're able to learn more about the MSRA. So, Mehak, can you give us a short introduction to our audience?
Hello, Assalamu alaikum everyone. I am Dr. Mehak. I graduated from Illama Iqbal Medical College in 2022. And then I started my PLAB pathway. I have had my GMC registration since last year. But after applying for more than 500 to 700 jobs, I could not secure even one interview. So then I started to go for MSRA.
Yeah, so finally she got. So, can you tell us to the audience what is really score? And you said in September 2025, right? So, how much you score?
Yeah, so I scored 550. And psychiatry rank is out. GP is still not. I ranked 191 out of 4,000 people. So I
So,
knew I did well, but thank you. But I did not expect this well. But Alhamdulillah, it worked out fine.
I remember the hard work you put in this exam. Really want to know how you manage it, your journey, and we just quickly get through all the questions which everyone wants to know. I know many people from all around our circle are keep on asking you, so that is one of the reasons she herself asked me that can we do this, so it will really helpful for all other doctors. So Mehak, can you just give me like a little few introductions of the MSRA exam so everyone can know, and the preparation duration, resources, and then we move to the what are the mistakes you often feel that people do, that's why they can't score well. So without further ado, just jump into the MSRA exam stuff.
Yeah, so basically, a lot of people take this test, but the trend I have seen is people don't go all in because this exam does not have any fee. So
Yeah.
most of IMG, yeah. So like most of IMGs just take it for the sake of it. Maybe something will happen, maybe, and after like applying for a lot of applications, we are all tired, we are all frustrated. But the first thing I really want all of you to keep in mind that if you are taking this exam, give everything to it. Do not be a part of two boards. Won't work out if you are not giving it all of it in, because as we know, this is the most competitive exam. I would say this was more competitive than PLAB 1 or even 2. Because UK graduates are also taking this exam. They have been through that system, so they're better equipped with the content of it. Also, all around the world, people are taking this exam right and left. So if you are deciding about it, just do not doubt. For IMGs, we only get GP or psychiatry because all other specialties also require portfolio, and we do not have that. My friend Nafeel, I would really like to mention him. He deserves a shout out here. He's my mentor. He told me that this is a door. If you get through this, multiple doors will open for you. Once you have to be there in UK, then you can switch to surgery or anywhere else you want. So you asked that how I decided about this exam. So I decided after thousands of application rejections on track. In May this year, I decided that I'm gonna take a September attempt. I had job back then. I had a MO job back then, and I started studying around 8 hours per day.
With
I
job.
was yeah, with the job, with my MO job initially. It wasn't very hard job. It's just 6 hours per day, 36 hours per week. But I started with 8 hours per day, studying 8 hours per day in mid-May. But in June, started enjoying the process, because then when I realized that this is the exam that requires total dedication and consistency. And for me as a person, I can't do multitasking. For me, that job was just a distraction for me. It wasn't giving me anything. It wasn't keeping me motivated, I would say. It wasn't about the working hours. It was more about that it was making me very complacent. I
Yeah.
wanted to be on the edge. I wanted to be jobless to study more. So like,
Yeah,
the
so
motivation.
that is
Yeah.
what I am also telling people, that this is the kind of a most competitive exam you are ever given. So that is why you need to do full go in. That is what I've learned from your talk. If you are able to quit the job, that is better for you as well.
If you don't want to quit or you can't quit job, you can take a leave. If you know that you can be consistent with your job and you can give 10 to 12 hours per day, you can keep your job.
Yeah, so that's one first important thing for the audience. You need at least to study 10 to 12 hours a day for at least 3 to 4 months for this exam. So the most important thing, everyone is struggling because not very many of us able to crack the MSRA. So we need to know what resources actually works. Basic is this. So what resources actually you take and which helps you to pass the exam. Can you just go through it?
So basically, I started with past medicine
Mhm.
because I was out of study mode for an year. So
Mhm.
I wanted to, make sure that my basics are strong. Past
Mhm.
medicine is a source that makes you revise all the stuff. It's
Mhm.
not like exam. The MCQs in the past medicine are not like exam, but it is important and it helps you in a way that your basics are strong. And once your basics are strong, you have revised every topics because honestly, the clinical part of MSRA is not a rocket science. It's
Mhm.
just about pattern recognition and structural studies, I would
Mhm.
say. So I started with past medicine and I tried to complete it in 40 days. What I did was I used to do 80 to 120 MCQs per day. I
Mhm.
used to set a target that I'm going to do this much MCQs and the explanation beneath every MCQs, I just used to read it. There is a whole lot information in past medicine. You don't need to retain everything in past
Yeah.
medicine.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's important because people often complain that there is a lot of unnecessary information in past medicine. Do we need to memorize all of it? Because the article beneath every MCQ is a whole topic, is a whole chapter, I would say. Just skim through it, just read through it. Do not memorize it by heart. But past medicine is important and it worked for me. I'm not sure if anyone else will like it, but I would say if you are out of study mode and this is your first attempt, then past medicine is necessary. If this is your second attempt and you have a strong clinical knowledge, you can skip past medicine. After past medicine, as I told you, Nafeel, my friend, he asked me to what revise MSRA. Revise MSRA is a source that I made my main study material, meaning that I also revised it at the end of the my preparation just before the exam. So I took revise MSRA around June, mid-June, and I started doing MCQs. When I started revise MSRA after past medicine, I realized that the exam is very different from what I was imagining or what I thought was. Revise MSRA has very concise MCQ stems. The stems are so concise that hardly 7 to 8 words. And I
Yeah.
haven't taken any exam like this before. So it was a shocker at first. Like first 2 to 3 days, I was in shock that they are not providing us with enough information to choose
Information to
from the
make.
options.
Mhm.
Yeah. So every option, it sound correct to me. So I was very confused. And I talked to my friend Nafeel, and he told me that yes, that's why I didn't tell you before when you were doing past medicine because I wanted you to have a strong foundation. Personally, I have this habit that whenever I take any exam, I look what they're testing us. I don't go blindly into it. So then I started reading about it. What are they actually testing us on? So what I realized is it's not about 100 or 1,000 books or, a lot of knowledge. It's about facts and pattern recognition, most common conditions, because it is initially for GP. So
Yeah.
most common conditions that can present in GP. Very concise and smart study, but you have to have every common condition on your fingertips. So then I completed Revise MSRA in almost 30 days. And what else I did was there was this revision material in the subscription, just like Plabbable Gems.
Yeah,
Um,
revision notes.
yeah, revision notes. They're topic wise. I started to read them as well with the MCQs, and I tried to memorize them because it's like it's not much
Very useful, yeah.
information, but it's very important information. Every line is potential MCQs.
Yes.
Yeah. In that revision material, every line is a potential MCQs. So I started to memorize it by heart. I religiously did all the articles, and then I did MCQs about SJTs as well, because we all know SJTs are the most part which we all struggle with.
Yeah.
So my marks, the breakdown of my marks is I scored 303 in clinical and 247 in SJTs.
It is because of your clinical that you're able to score
Yeah,
much, right?
yeah. That's the point I want to highlight, that you can make up for the SJT part with your clinical preparation. SJTs is, I honestly did so much for SJTs, and I would like to thank you as well, because first, when I started preparing for MSRA, I watched your videos with your friend, and generally your videos emphasizing on SJT preparation. So I started preparing for SJTs very earlier, like in the second month when I started preparing for when I started preparing from Revise MSRA, I subsequently started simultaneously started SJT preparation from Oxford. The difference between my marks, you can see it's very obvious, that 247 and 303.
Yeah.
So SJTs around 250-ish marks is ideal. It's good. So while I was doing Revise MSRA clinical CPS part, I was doing SJTs Oxford in June. And I started with 10 MCQs daily. I used to do MCQ and read the explanation. Okay, that was also a very struggling period, because I had no idea what the situational judgment test is. It's not ethical. I used to think it's just ethics. It's not ethical. It's situation based. Like they give you a situation, and you have to rank options. I'm assuming everybody watching this video have a basic idea
Yeah.
what this exam is. Then again, I started reading about SJTs, and I followed some of the UK graduates on Reddit and YouTube, and I watched their videos, and they because I was struggling with Oxford so much, none of my answers were going correct.
Yeah.
So I started watching their videos, like what do I need to do for it to, be better for me. So one of the YouTuber suggested SJT at a glance book, which their graduates read when they start their house job, like FY1. I skimmed through it, but honestly, it's not necessary. You don't have to do it. I'm just telling you all because I want that all of my resources, I put it out there. If anybody has time, they can. I don't want to keep anything to myself. So I read that as well. I read SJT at a glance. It's very basic book. It's like definition of everything, like what's your bleep number, who is your clinical supervisor, who is your educational supervisor. So like very basics thing. Like it was good for me because I am kind of a person that needs to know where this thing is coming from. What's the hierarchy of this system? So I read that book, and after that, I watched IMG Marvel videos that are also available on YouTube. They made 20 rules to solve SJTs. They are also helpful, but if you have time, you can watch it. But honestly, you don't have to. The only thing you have to do for SJTs is Oxford, but you have to do it twice.
Yeah.
Because
This is what I have mentioned previously in my
yeah,
video.
you have to do it twice, because at first you will be shocked you were not
What
getting
happened?
anything right. Yeah,
Yeah.
you would not get anything right, and you would not retain, and you would not recognize the pattern of the questions. So
Yeah.
I started Oxford with the revised MSRA, and in the last month I was done with Oxford with revised MSRA with past medicine. I had 25 to 30 days left after revised MSRA, past medicine, and Oxford. Then the field gave me a choice to choose between Samson Mocks or MCQ Bank. The most popular source is MCQ Bank. So I chose it. But one of my other friends chose Samson Mocks. So we decided that if anything, new will come, we will share with each other. Yeah, and we'll see that how it is. So I started MCQ Bank around 25 days before my exam, and MCQ Bank has 1600 CPS questions and almost 250-ish STT questions. I started doing both of them simultaneously, around 100 MCQs per day, and by then I was very quick with clinical MCQs. I forgot to mention, after completing Revise MSRA, I took one mock. So I would say don't delay your mocks. Take your mocks ASAP, like after doing Revise MSRA. I took one mock and I scored really well in the mock. So in Revise MSRA mocks, there is only CPS part. There is no SGT part. But what I used to do is there are SGT MCQs in the Revise MSRA separately. So I used to do 50 MCQs from there with a timer. Um, and then I jump straight to the mock, which has only clinical part in the revised MSRA.
Yeah. So
So
complete
it kind of
paper.
simulates that. Yeah, it kind of simulate the real exam situation and real exam environment. Time management is very important. I will talk about it later. First, we will talk about the
Yeah.
resources and everything. So I took the mock and I scored well in the clinical part, but SJT again, I was still confused. What do I have to do next, like to make it even more better? So I started MCQ Bank and I started doing clinical questions. What I realized in MCQ Bank was it was overcomplicated. It was unnecessarily detailed and lengthy, and some of the information now I'm sure after my exam was not needed.
Yeah.
So I would rather just you take Samsung mocks instead of MCQ Bank.
MCQ
My
bank. Yeah.
friend who was doing Samsung mocks, she told me that there are a lot of questions here that are from recall. Keep these in your mind and do this as well. But I had no time for Samsung mocks, but I really wanted to go through it. So almost 1 week before my exam, when I was done with MCQ Bank, SGTs, and clinical as well, I started doing Samsung mocks, the solved one. There is a
Yeah. The
PDF
offline
around.
which are available. Yeah.
Yeah, which are available. I just read them, and there are 11 mocks. I used to do two mocks per day, and with it, I was doing UKFPO paper for SGTs.
Mm-hmm.
UKFPO paper, I would say, are very good for SGTs. I wish I have done them like a more earlier in my preparation, but I was too focused on Oxford and everything. But I did them at the end. UKFP paper are very good. And then there is also one source that I got to know from your videos, good medical practice in action scenarios on the official website.
Yeah.
There are almost 15 to 16 scenarios. I did them as well. They were also helpful. For SGTs, I did more things than the clinical. Most of them helped. That's why
Yeah.
it scored around 247. Now, for the last 5 days before the exam, I started revise MSRA, revision material, articles. I did not do any MCQs during those 5 days. I
That's
just
fine.
revised
Mm.
those material. But around third or fourth day, I took a big mock. That was just revised MSRA mock with the revised MSRA SGTs, just to keep in practice of doing MCQs.
Yeah.
So that was the whole timeline with each source. Do not delay your mocks. Keep doing mocks every week. I would say after you are done with your major source, that is Revise MSRA, keep doing mocks. Like there are 6 mocks in Revise MSRA. In the last month, each mock every week.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
just keep
of
you in
Revise
touch with
MSRA.
how the exams go and keep your mind up to the exam, right? So this is a
Yeah.
really detailed just breakdown of what you have done, and I have seen that you have done put a lot of effort and doing a lot of different resources to just find out which actually works. So that is the reason why I just welcome you and you explain in very detail. Thank you for that. So basically, that one other thing that many people struggle is the time management. I know there are two sections. There is one clinical part, another is the situational judgment. Those situational judgment questions are less, they have more time, and the clinical have you can say as compared to the total number of questions you can have more time, but on the exam day it's feel really different, right? You feel you're
Yeah.
running short of time. I know the time management in the MSRA is a big deal, so can you just guide us regarding the time management, especially the time management for SDT?
So, time management obviously is the most crucial part in this exam. We have almost 170 minutes in total, 95 minutes for SJTs, 50 MCQs, and almost 75 minutes for 97 MCQs of CPS. Um, I would say for time management, you have to start very earlier while you are doing mocks. So I started my first mock with the time management. I put on a timer for 50 SGTs of 95 MCQs, and I realized that I could not make it. I could not solve all SGTs in 95 minutes in my first mock. That's when I realized that I need to break it down. So what I did was I break those 50 MCQs in 10 MCQ each set, and I tried to do every 10 MCQs in 18 minutes. So that way I could, keep a track of my own time, how much time I am taking, and how do I have to tweak in the subsequent 10 set. Just look at the timer after every 10 MCQs and see how much time have elapsed. It should be around 18 minutes. So you would be having 3 minutes at the end as well to go for flagged MCQs, or honestly do not flag questions because you would not have time
Have
to go
time to
back
go
and
back. Yeah,
yeah,
that.
you would
Yeah.
not have. I did flag them, but I could not go and revise them again. So for SGTs, 18 minutes for every 10 MCQs.
10 MCs. Yeah.
In that way, you will look at the timer for only 5 times. You would not be looking at the timer very frequently and wasting your time. And you would also keep a check on how much time is left. For CPS, time management is also very important because you have roughly 46 seconds for each MCQ. Here, I would like to mention that you do not want any shocker for clinical. You have to have done almost 70 to 80% of those MCQs before your exam. That way you would be, be able to do zero mistakes. As we talked earlier, that clinical is the part you can actually crack with preparations. SGT is more like you can do your best, but you can always keep in mind that it has a luck part and a
Yeah.
common sense part, and you are not as equipped as the UK graduates are in SJTs. So you have to make it up with your clinical. So for clinical, every 20 MCQs in 15 minutes. In
Yeah.
that way, you will also look at the timer for 5 times only. You will see that if you have done 20 MCQs in every 15 minutes, and you have to start doing it during your mocks. So in mocks, try to simulate the real examination environment so that there would not be any shocker for you in the exam.
Yeah, so what I've learned like from your talk, that it's not like you are start doing time management a week before or 2 weeks before. It is just like
Yeah.
you will start preparing with the time management along with it, right? Yeah,
Yes,
that's
in short, after past medicine or between device MSRA, you can put a timer, roughly a timer, and with the mocks, it is like necessary to do them with the timer. They are of no use without a timer. Without a timer, you can score 100%. It's that environment, that pressure of time that
Mhm.
makes you perform good or bad.
So what do you feel that many people can't make up because they're doing a lot of mistakes? I feel the one who mistake less score more, and the one who mistakes more score less. This is what I'm getting by for this exam. It is not more the knowledge base. It is more of your exam orientation and how you actually perform on the exam that counts on the day. What are the reasons or what are the mistakes many people make which ultimately cost the exam?
Mostly 2 to 3 type of people who are not making it. Mostly those who are not going all in, who are like
Yeah.
preparing for multiple exams or doing side quest as well, and just giving this exam because it's free and you can take multiple attempts.
Mhm.
So first mistake is that if you are going to give this exam, please, I'm saying this again and again, make your mind and focus on it.
Mhm.
And because the reward is very good.
Very big.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, a very big reward. You directly go in the training position, not even a non-training job.
Yeah.
So go all in, prepare really well. And secondly, I am type of a person that do not look at the merit list or cutoffs very much. That part, Nafeel used to do it for me. These days, the competition is so high that after like 5:20, 5:30ish, you are like, okay, now I'm gonna get. Don't look at the cutoffs very much, but keep all your energies to study. Keep all your energy focused to study. That's another mistake because people look at the cutoffs and they, give up in between, or they just like, there's no way I'm gonna make it. So do not go in that loophole or in that cycle. Try to focus all your energies on studying, and STTs are very important, very, very important. Having said that, don't underestimate clinicals.
Clinicals, yeah.
You have to keep in mind that you are not at the leverage of taking wrong questions in clinical. Make sure or try to not even get one question wrong in clinical. I know it's very tough and I know it sounds quite impossible, but
Quite of
this will make this will make up for the STTs as well. You do not have the leverage to get clinicals wrong. You can get and you will get STTs wrong, that's given. But for clinical, you can actually crack them. And for cracking them, you just need preps. You don't need extra rocket science. I am just like you guys. The only extraordinary thing I did was just to make sure that I don't do stupid mistakes in clinicals. As a human being, we all make mistakes. We learn from them. That's where mocks come. Whenever you do a mock and you see that, okay, I have 10 MCQs wrong in clinical, change your approach. In mocks, 4 to 5 clinical wrong are acceptable, not more than 5 even.
Yeah.
So that in exam it's even shorter. Another mistake I see is people don't take mocks that often, and by the end of the exam, they just get out of touch of solving questions. So you have to keep in practice yourself. So I think I have covered everything in mistake wise. You have to be dedicated, passionate. You have to make sure that you do not do stupid mistakes in clinicals, and time management. And we have breakdown time management very frequently.
So, thing is, like all other doctors who are wanted to work in the NHS and UK, so January 2026 MSRA is on for us, right? So that is the one reason we are all start talking it about again. So that is the real gist of this video. We want to know how to go for the next 3 months to able to score really high and get a score or seat in the NHS.
First of all, I would like to say that you all have been presented with a very good opportunity to be able to sit in January attempt. So take it as a good thing that you are going to be able to give it. Having said that, you need to start studying from today. So first of all, I would like to say dedication, consistency, and staying motivated. These are all the things you need to crack this exam. It's not something you can't do it. It's highly possible, and it's very much something that you can do. For 3 months preps now, you need to start from tomorrow or even today. You can absolutely do this. I would say again, if you are someone who has their second attempt or third attempt, skip past medicine and start from revise MSRA. But if it's your first attempt and you are out of study mode, start with past medicine. Try to complete past medicine in 40 days. Or if your second attempt and you still want to do past medicine, try to complete it in 30 days. 100 to 120 MCQs per day, and we are good to go. After past medicines, start revise MSRA, and a lot of clinical questions were from Samson mock and revise MSRA. So for revise MSRA, keep it your main source and try to complete it in 30 days as well. And for last 20 days, do Samson mocks. There are 11 mocks in Samson. You can do them offline as well. And if you want to buy the subscription, you can. I did them offline. Skip MCQ Bank if you think that you do not have time. But if you want to over prepare and want to cover everything and you are like, no, I don't want to take any risks, then do MCQ Bank. But honestly, it wasn't of much help, I would say. So last thing is Samson mocks. So this is roughly 3 months schedule, and try doing frequent mocks during your last month. Revise MSRA has 6 mocks. Try doing those in the last month. And for SJTs, do Oxford twice and UKFPO also twice. Do them once you start your SJT preparation, and then again at the end, so that you see that how much you have improved in SJTs. And honestly, just have faith about SJTs. There is only much you can do about them. So you can do a lot about clinical. Yeah, you can do a lot about clinical. So just focus that on doing everything for clinical. And for SJTs, do Oxford, do UKFPO, and if you have time, then you can do revise MSRA SJTs as well.
So that one question is that last time I see that many people say that for SDT you need a lot of discussion practice. So do you think that we can do this, or how you prepare the SDT? Is just like you studying by yourself, or what you say that you need a 3-4 group partners? Because SDT, some people say you need more discussion rather than just study.
So honestly, I did not study with any partner. But I had, as I have already mentioned, I have Nafeel, my mentor. He wasn't taking this exam, but he has taken this before, so he knew what to prepare and how to prepare. But he has a friend who was also taking this exam. But I personally, I did not study SGTs with discussion. I did them alone, but it's just me. Because SGTs, the more important part is recognizing the pattern.
Pattern, yeah.
And yeah, recognizing the pattern, that what are they asking in this specific question, because there are around 5 to 6 domains, like professional integrity, patient confidentiality, colleague problem, just like we did in PLAB 2. These are like 5 to 6 domains they ask questions. So whenever you are doing any question, try to think about it. Okay, in this question, are they talking about patient confidentiality, or are they talking about teamwork? Once you crack that question as a center, you can rank them. You can't make single rule for every question. So the only thing I realized is recognizing that what is the center of the question. What domain are they testing me or in this question? Like, are they testing me on patient confidentiality? Are they testing me on teamwork or professional integrity? Once you recognize that pattern, that this question is specifically about this problem, then it gets easier for you to rank them or pick options. Making one rule for every SJT or making 20 rules for all the SJT questions is stupid. You have to, yeah, you have to read very carefully the SJT stamp and make a sense about the center of the question, the main topic. What is the topic of this question? I personally did not study with discussion. I did all alone.
Like how you manage
Yeah.
the SGT along with the in the early first 2 months of preparation period when you're going through the things for the first or second time. So how you manage this together?
So for the first month, my mini schedule or rough schedule was I started studying around 2 p.m. And I used to study till 10 p.m. So 8 hours roughly. And during the first month, I wasn't doing SGTs. I was only doing past medicine. It would be better that if I tell you my second month schedule, because that's when I dedicatedly started studying and started studying SGTs and clinical simultaneously. So I used to start with clinical and do clinical revision articles. And then around lunch, and then I used to have a lunch break. I started around 10 a.m. in the morning, have lunch break around 2 p.m. And then I did SJTs videos in between. They are like 1 minute videos. I completed them in 3 days. Like there are 20 videos, and I used to like with my lunch, honestly. I was in the library eating my lunch and then watching those videos and
Making note.
writing anything they are saying. After the lunch break, I go back to the clinical. I do the MCQs from revised MSRA. In the last 2 hours of my studying, I used to do Oxford SGT questions.
Mm-hmm.
So almost almost 9 hours for clinical initially and 3 hours for SGTs only. But that changed in the coming month.
Coming
In
up.
the coming month, there was 50-50 time.
Mhm.
50% for the STTs and 50% for the clinical. And you have to do this because exam is 50-50. Like 50% is clinical and 50% is STTs. So I used to study around 12 hours, 6 hours for clinical and almost 5 to 6 hours for STTs.
That's really helpful. And I hope everyone who will watch this video will find it really helpful and score a good in the coming January. So, thank you so much, Mehak, for having with us on this YouTube channel and letting all us know how you prepare. And it will really helpful for me, honestly speaking. I will, because I'm also planning to take in January, so it is really helpful for me to get started. And from today, as you mentioned, it's not like tomorrow or start making plan. You just start today and start doing with what you want your basic knowledge. So thank you so much, Mehak. In the last, if you want to say anything to the person who just post PLAB breakdown stuck
Yeah.
and finding a way to just make a career through, what you can just say to them in just like one line or two line.
Yeah. So thank you so much for having me, Edson. I really appreciate that. There is so much gap. We do not have much guidance in PLAB pathway. I would just like to say to everybody who is disheartened and hopeless and helpless, I was you at one time, and I was very much like you. So you can absolutely do this. Just have faith, keep pushing, and just don't delay it. Just
Yeah.
give it.
Yes, that's good. Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
and hopefully you will have a good time in the UK when you get there.